Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly video of planets through ascendants. And if you were lucky enough, you might have caught my video that I uploaded today about how maybe damaging certain planets in your horoscope. And none of you get it. None of you got it. Everybody was like simply arguing on the comment section. Everybody was simply saying, oh, you're just trying to promote your friend's software. That's what it is. And nobody got the wisdom. And then one of my very good astrologer friends called. He's like, Kapiel, nobody will get it. And as much as this was one of the top secrets in astrology, but he kind of reminded me that people have to go through their karma and they have to learn certain things on their own. They have to learn certain things through their own hard lessons. They will not get what you're saying. And so, he kind of said, you know what, just remove it. People will not get it, so I kind of removed it. But if you were lucky and if you know what I was talking about, take that wisdom. Take that wisdom. Many want to argue just for their own sake of arguing. Many want to simply take the easy way out, thinking what I'm saying is far-fetched and what I'm saying is just complete BS. But hey, it's okay. I guess you guys are not ready for that particular type of wisdom. Later on sometime, I will try to make it again. But I just see that people are they're not ready. So anyway, today we are going to be doing our planets through ascendant. And we're going to be doing Sun in the 5th house for Cancer ascendant people. And what happens when Sun is in the 5th house in the sign of Scorpio for a Cancer ascendant person. And this is quite different from my other series. This is not Sun through signs or Sun through houses. This is now Sun is in a particular sign, particular house, and it's ruling a certain house. So it's bringing a certain effect into play. So it becomes quite different. And as always, if you do not know where your Sun is placed, what sign it's in, what house it's in, so you can see if you have this placement or all the other planetary details. For that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So let's get started with our planets through ascendant. So Sun in the sign of Scorpio for Cancer ascendant people. Sun, as you know, rules the second house. Second house of family, wealth, lineage, assets, speech, your food intake, the type of foods you eat. It represents culture and art that you grew up in. It's your early childhood environment. Literally, this would be the environment of like the first 5 years. It's like the second house is really active in your first 5 years. So Cancer, Moon, says, I'm going to give Sun the second house to rule. Because of the fact, for a Cancer ascendant, family and home and mother is their royal throne. It's their kingdom. They're like, this is my place where I feel regal. So Moon is like, hey, Sun, you want to control this house for me? It's like, sure. So this is a house that is ruled by the sign of Leo, controlled by Sun, because Sun controls the sign of Leo. Basic ABC. But Sun now is sitting in the 5th house in your particular horoscope. What is the 5th house? 5th house represents children. 5th house represents education. 5th house is Purva Punya Bhava, meaning your past life deeds and how they're affecting you in this life, seen from the 5th house. Also the 9th house, because it's the Dharma houses. 5th house represents mantras, learning the ancient knowledge, the ancient texts. Astrology can be seen from the 5th house, also along with the 8th house. And here, the sign of Scorpio is there. Scorpio is probably the only sign in the entire zodiac that is quite a karmic sign. Why is it known as a karmic sign? Because of the fact no planet is exalted in this sign. Yet one planet is debilitated in this sign, which is moon. Moon is this. Everything that we have is moon. Moon is the energy that was given through our mother, the life force. So when the life force gets debilitated in a sign where no other planet is exalted, then that planet really becomes like that, that black hole. But don't think of it in terms of what I'm saying. Don't take it literally, it's a black hole. No. It's simply a sign that really intensifies the energy of a planet. Even if it's a soft planet that doesn't want to be intensified, it intensifies it. This is why moon, in a way, a better way of saying that it's not debilitated, it is intensified. Like you want to be in a peaceful situation with your mind. You want to be happy, you want to be jolly, you don't really want to face fears and face an anxiety, and turmoil in front of you. And here, then moon is facing it. But it faces it. It develops itself to be very smart, cunning, and it's able to fight off and face demons head on. Because Scorpio is the original 8th house energy. So when sun comes here, the light, sun actually does quite well. Because for number one, it is the sign of his friend Mars. And not just a friend. Mars is actually sun's servant because Mars is a soldier. If sun, the king, gives the order, Mars will follow. So if a king comes into the house of his soldier, he knows he's going to get a royal treatment. The soldier and his family will do whatever it takes to make him feel comfortable. So sun doesn't mind being here. Then sun ruling the second house being in the 4th house, 5th house, it's a fixed sign. Leo is a fixed sign, Scorpio is a fixed sign. So whatever your belief is, however your ego is developed, it will stay fixed. It's going to be very hard for you to change. It'll be very hard for you to change your ways. Then, second lord is 4th from itself, meaning your comfort zone of the second house, your happiness of the second house, your peace of the second house is in the 5th house. So what is the signal here with sun? Well, what this shows is that first of all, this creates a dhan yoga. And this shows one's income is coming through one going towards fields of creative self-expression, going towards fields related to speculation, and very intensely expressing themselves creatively. Like this is the person, the best example would be like Heath Ledger. The Batman's, I'm sure people know who he is. He's a late actor who, I don't know if it's committed suicide or accident, what it was. But he was so into his Joker character that he was literally playing that in his real life. And they say it kind of may have driven him over the edge. And that's the kind of way these people express their intensity through creative self-expression. Like if you tell them to do a role, they will master that role to a point where they know that they're that person. I don't know if you have guys seen that Tom Cruise movie with who's that Iron Man actor? I forgot what it's called. It's where Tom Cruise is bald and he has a funny way. That's where the actor literally becomes black. He's a white Caucasian guy, but he transforms his skin just for this role. That's how the intensity is. You are very intense with your children. Your value, which is the second house, what you value, is coming through your children. So what's going to happen is you're going to make sure that your assets with the children is protected. Meaning you're going to make sure your children are grown up in such a way that it's pure and perfect. And you want to transform them into something that you want them to be. And this is where a little bit of trouble will come into play. Because sun is a hot planet. Sun is a mild malefic planet. But it's hot. Like it's burning hot. And then you have this intensity of this karmic sign of Scorpio of transformation. So when sun sits in the 5th house, it'll burn some significance of the 5th house, which means you will get into ego battles with your children. Your children will not be able to take your dictatorialship upon them. Because look, you are finding your value through your children. So what's going to happen? And you're finding your happiness through children, which means you're going to do whatever it takes to mold your children into a way that you feel satisfied, not them. Also, Sun here brings children late, in your late 20s or mid 30s. Because again, Sun is a malefic planet because of the fact it's hot. It cannot help itself. He says, I am a sattvic planet. I'm literally Vishnu. But the thing is, I'm so hot, my duty in this life is to wherever I sit, I'm going to burn something in the house. Like just imagine a hot spot here on my reflector. Like in the middle spot, I can see the reflection of the light. It's hot. This is middle part. The rest of it is fine. That's how Sun is. When he's sitting, there's just some certain portion of that house is being burned. This also shows that your father must have been either in military, police force, detective. Father could have been even a surgeon, government tax officer. And your relationship with the father was very intense. It may have been good, but let's say if you and your father are playing some sort of a sport, you're playing your basketball with your father shooting hoops, it'll get very, very serious and intense. He would be competing with you. Your father will compete with you. So what's happened is you bring that competitiveness to your children, because again, this is a sign ruled by Mars. It is a transformation through competition, transformation through conquer, transformation through charging. This is why Scorpio is like always said, oh my goodness, what an intense, feared sign. Your romantic encounters, which is the 5th house, will be always have intensity of sexuality. If you cannot, with Sun in the sign of Scorpio in the 5th house, most of it goes like this. Like, if you cannot get laid on the first date, if you cannot feel that intense sexual passion on the first date, you probably will not go for the second. Or you may go for the second or third, but there's going to be a limit. You need to experience that sexual energy within your soul to experience that person's romance. You exuberate your romance by literally wanting to be in a romantic relationship, which is really starts off more intensely, which is what? The intense level of relationship is that sexual side. But these people are able to do whatever it takes to win in life, to make money. And they will always be able to make money through speculative fields, arts, media, creativity. Now, obviously, I've seen many Sun in the 5th house in Scorpio who go into the other routes that I told you that the father will go towards. They can even go towards like chemical engineering. They can even go towards physics, studying physics. Anything which is like either hidden underneath or way above people's head, that's what Scorpio is. So an astronomer is somebody who secretly searches for things. Like the guy who searched for, I think, Kepler B82, which made Pluto announced as a dwarf planet or something of that nature. This is the kind of Sun Scorpio energy comes into. Your education has to be intense enough to where you want to learn the secrets, hidden secrets that other people cannot learn. And so with this position, there will always be the positive side where you will conquer the 5th house. You're going to want to intensely go towards without losing a battle. But then the ego battle with the 5th house entities will definitely be there. Like you are a father with Sun and Scorpio in the 5th house. Your daughter is 14-year-old, wants to go on a date. Nope. 16-year-old wants to go on a date. Nope. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Nope. Not until you're 25, you're not going to date. And you see that fixed energy is there. Because that fixed energy is there, it's going to be hard to budge this person from their decision. Now, if Sun is in a different sign, if it's in a cardinal sign, if it's in a dual sign, then the person has the ability to fluctuate themselves. You can get your way into selling yourself to them. Like, look, Dad, please, we're just going to go to the movies. I will keep you. I will text you. You can come to the theater and pick me up. Father will be like, okay, yeah, fine, I'll do it. But this father, more of that military general, no, this is it, this is it. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Sun in the 5th house for Scorpio or Cancer Ascendant people. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Sun is placed, where your other planetary placements are, all my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.